So for all of you out there who are wondering how game works, and yes, I don't make too many videos on game, but just decided to make this short video about my observations on the true essence of game and who really needs it, what it's about, and quite frankly, when is game not needed. So for all of you who've been watching videos of PUAs, dating coaches telling you about all you need is game and game this and game that, and you can't do crap without game, and you're useless without game. You could improve yourself to the point in which you gain a six-pack, earn six figures, and do all sorts of other stuff. You could lift 600 pounds on a 6,000 square foot house. But none of that matters if you have game. Game. And in the spirit of AMS, shout out to him. I'm probably going to, maybe not by name, but I'm definitely going to expose some people here today because quite frankly, a lot of these guys, not all, but a lot of the PUA coaches, especially the ones who really push the all you need is game concept, quite frankly, are frauds. Or at the very least, they give you half-ass solutions in order to just sell you more DVDs, sell you more books, sell you more seminars, and then all of a sudden they end up being somewhere in Miami just flossing and flexing with some Instagram thoughts. But that's a whole nother subject. But as far as game, a lot of people define game, even legitimate dating coaches define game as ways in order to pick up women. In reality, if you really look and listen to what some of the more legitimate dating coaches, people like your Rom Wills, your Donovan Sharps, AMS, those guys, a couple of other guys that you can throw out there. A lot of these individuals, Aaron Roger Curry, a lot of these individuals, from my personal interpretation of when they talk about game in the case of these individuals and a couple of the other more legitimate ones, isn't about, and some of them will even admit it, isn't about winning over women who are not attracted to you. But game, or at least the beginning of game, a successful game, lies in recognizing which kind of women are attracted to you. Let me repeat that. It's not about getting women who aren't attracted to you to be attracted to you. It's about recognizing which kind of women are attracted to you from the get-go. Along with the secondary point of increasing that amount of women by doing whatever you can within your limits. Those are the two aspects of game that a lot of the more legitimate dating coaches focus on. So, especially in the case of, say, your Rom Wills, I notice he does this a lot. He definitely, and this is one of the reasons why I say he's probably, out of the black dating coaches, I'd say he is definitely the most legitimate out of there. And the main reason why is not just because he doesn't emphasize or doesn't shame cold approaching. He is a proponent of warm approaching. And a lot of that warm approach deals with recognizing when women are into you. If not out the gate obsessed, then somewhat intrigued. Which I am a proponent of warm approaches when you're given indicators of interest, IOIs as they like to call it. And a lot of that deals with, one, not wasting your time, two, not dealing with an exorbitant amount of harsh rejection, and three, avoiding any sort of sexual harassment claims, especially in this era. that's the first part that I like to emphasize as true game. And 2, improving yourself in order to increase the amount of the women who are attracted to you from the get-go. And we've especially seen this lately with AMS and his meteoric rise. Last time I checked, he's at probably 30-something thousand subscribers. And don't be surprised if he reaches 50 by the spring. I'm just going to say that. But that's specifically if he does his live streams. But a lot of what he emphasizes is the term of be on your purpose. Don't make it about women. Don't make the final result about women. Be on your purpose, whether it's working your job, getting an extra job, going to the gym, or just living your life in general, hanging out with the guys, whatever. Be on your purpose. It's the main thing that he emphasizes on the point of game. But I'm going to say later on, a bit later on what game really is about, or if you really need game at all. But we have some of these dating coaches, some of these PUAs who will force you these half-ass solutions, or I don't even like to call them solutions, but treatments on men who may not be as sexually successful with women as they would like. Guys who would tell you to wear this elaborate costume and do all these magic tricks. Guys who would tell you to approach 1,000 women on the street, even though a lot of them have their own lives or may have their own men, or you're probably in a very stuck-up city where a lot of women make it a sport to shoot down men in the most harshest way possible. Or go to the most harshest, or go to the most, or the least approach-friendly venues like loud-ass nightclubs, and just spam approach and get shot down multiple times. And I emphasized this on my last video on how MGTOW, not last, but one of the previous videos on how the PUA community, the PUA artists, helped create MGTOW. And a lot of it comes from dealing with these so-called solutions, which in reality are just ways to make guys feel more ashamed about themselves and give them even less confidence about their dealings with women, to the point in which they become completely dependent on these fraud PUA dating coaches. And if you don't see the writing on the wall, I mean, look, you got these guys who have been in the game for like decades for a decade, because a lot of this really started in the mid-2000s. But, and quite frankly, a lot of it is for retention. A lot of it is to retain customers, and in a business, that is what you would like, is to retain customers. But a lot of these PUA coaches do it in a way in which is very nefarious and very deceiving. But as far as, and one of the things that, and if any of you want to disagree with me, going ahead, but as I said, if you want to see which PUA dating coaches are legit versus those who are frauds, if they advocate code approach and only code approach to the point in which they shame you and call you all sorts of punks and wussies and all this other kind of stuff, if you don't code approach, if you don't code approach, you're a beta male cuck and all. If these guys shove code approach down your throat, then chances are these guys are frauds, or the guy you're talking to is a fraud. But as far as the game itself, dating itself, let's be honest. Regardless of looks, regardless of status, regardless of income, regardless of race, the real truth is that guys, or I should say in the case of girls who are interested in certain guys, game is not needed. Let me repeat that. Game, if a girl is really interested in you, is not needed. She will make it easy for you. In some cases, it's easy to the point in which all you need to do is say hi. Some cases, it's to the point in which she'll give you some slight signs, be friendly, be cordial, not walk away. And all you need to do is just, have a personality, have some charisma, be somewhat interesting at the very least, have decent looks, not be a complete neckbeard, and there you go. Be straightforward, be honest. Yes, I know certain other dating coaches who I may not think are aware of today's game scenarios say be honest. But I say be honest in the sense of just be straightforward, sort of like a Moat 1 kind of straightforward if you must, or at the very least, if you feel as if you need to warm her up, invite her to drinks or dinner. Well, not dinner. Don't do dinner, but yeah, do some drinks, a movie night, Netflix and chill if you insist. But that kind of honesty is always good. And the reason why I emphasize honesty, if for nothing else, is to avoid drama. It's worked for me. And yeah. But as far as game is concerned, if the girl really likes you, you don't need game. You really don't. At least not to the point in which a lot of these PUA coaches emphasize on what game is, on having the most charisma, you gotta be most outgoing and extroverted, and you gotta have swag. You're oozing with swag, and which I even hate that word swag, because let's be honest, swag for the past 10 or so years is basically synonymous with urban, black, ghetto mannerisms. If you don't have black ghetto mannerisms, you don't have swag. That's just what it is. And all of you who've been on my channel for even weeks probably know that I don't have that. I'll be honest, I don't have that. I don't care to have that. My personal reasons of not having, or intentionally avoiding any sort of swag mannerisms. Look, I know some people say, well, just swag's just personality, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Well, my masculine frame is one of a non-black manner. And some women consider that as having swag, but a lot of these PUA people, especially these black PUA people, will shame you if you don't have black swag. Let's just call it what it is. But if a woman likes you, if she really likes you, you don't even need that. You really don't. And you don't need to go out of your way, most importantly, to get with her. She will make it, to one degree or another, easy for you. And a lot of these legitimate dating coaches will agree with what I'm saying. So as far as game is concerned, don't overemphasize, or don't stress yourself out over not having quote unquote game, at least in the way a lot of these PUA coaches define game. Look, a lot of that is used to sell books, DVDs, and seminars, and for the most part, we all know how that's going. And I tend to criticize this group a lot, but when it comes to the PUA coaching part dying out because of these freaking people who should be working for Pfizer and GSK and Merck, all these other pharmaceutical big pharma companies, because of the tactics and the experience they have selling and pushing and peddling half-ass solutions. I will say this. In one case, in this one scenario, that the MGTOWs have it right. everyone else out there, always bet on X.